cloud-connected apps that help drivers find everything from their favorite music to the best gas prices to systems that take over steering and braking to prevent accidents, and eventually vehicle-to-vehicle communication and self-driving cars. Technology is making driving easier, safer, and more enjoyable, and is transforming the car as we know it. Staying on top of these tech trends is 30-year automotive journalist, radio and TV host Alan Taylor. Alan broadcasts the latest industry news and trends on The Drive with Alan Taylor, talking with automotive designers, engineers and CEOs, and has developed strong personal relationships with top automakers. Now, get ready for C3 2014, featuring lively discussions with innovators from automotive and consumer electronics, produced by noted journalist and connected car expert Doug Newcomb. Now here's your MC, Alan Taylor.
Well, thank you. Welcome everybody to the Connected Car Conference. You know, I was listening to Ted Cardenas from Pioneer talk about the Baja 500. I thought, how did he work the Baja 500 into consumer electronics? Well, oddly enough, in 2006, I won the Baja 500 with Hummer. And one of the things we did along the way was we used these navigation systems that gave us an edge. So instead of having to just navigate through landmarks, we had the ability to use consumer electronics, same thing you can use in your car, while we were racing out in the Baja Desert. Now, the interesting thing is today, I have a friend who's racing in the Baja 500, and he's using infrared. He's looking through the dust. This is the kind of technology that was only at one time in fighter aircraft and in aircraft. And a lot of this aircraft technology has made its way into these connected cars, and I just think it's awesome. Watching all this go on, though, I'm going to start a new business for guardrails, but not for the street, for the sides of the buildings, because cars are going to be flying pretty soon, and they're going to have to keep them out of the buildings. But no, I've enjoyed watching this kind of peanut butter and jelly relationship happen. They go together so well, cars and connectivity. And so to be part of this and to work with Doug and his whole team that put on this and the Consumer Electronics Association, I'm proud to see that, you know, the turnout is completely full and that this event is going on here in New York City where, you know, one of the editors says, I don't even own a car, which is kind of funny, but cars are everywhere. So whether it's the cabs you're driving in or the cabs that will be driving you someday with no driver behind the wheel at all, the car and the consumer electronics world are kind of a perfect fit. So let me introduce our conference chair, Doug Newcomb. Bring him back up here. We've got an exciting event for you today, and I'll talk to you throughout the day a little bit each time. And I'm glad to be here, so thanks for having me. Doug Newcomb, come on up.
Thank you, Alan. And I'd like to welcome everybody to the second annual C3 conference. Again, my name's Doug Newcomb, and I'm the co-producer and founder of the event. Also, I'd like to thank CE Week for inviting us to have this conference here, as well as thank our sponsors, and thank you for attending. You know, there's been more awareness among consumers and the media of the potential of connected car technology. In the last year, we've also seen more investments by automakers and sizable investments by technology companies as well. There's also more focus on connected car from policymakers as well as elected officials. And I think most people understand that connected car technology has the potential to solve many problems associated with driving. And these range from just sheer boredom of driving, stress from traffic. I'm sure we've all experienced that. And also wasted time in the car. And as someone who travels a lot and spends time in Southern California, or pretty much anywhere these days, I can attest to that. But, you know, it also has the potential to solve larger societal issues. Wasted gas, which also means more emissions. And also, I think one of the most important things that we're going to see, or already seeing from a connected car, is that's saving lives. It really has the potential for that as well, a lot of the advanced driver systems that we're seeing today. But there's still a lot of hurdles to overcome, ranging from driver distraction. We talked about that a little bit beforehand. That's going to be our first panel. With the latest infotainment systems, to managing privacy and security. We're going to be talking about that as well. And to someday getting to self-driving cars. And what's amazing to me is that it's not a question of if, but when we're going to see that. We're going to talk about that as well today. For C3 2014, like last year, I brought together some of the top thought leaders from the auto industry, technology suppliers, government policy, researchers, analysts, and also media and communications to discuss and dissect these themes today. My goal with C3 is to cut through the clutter and the noise about connected car and deliver to stakeholders ranging from the auto industry to consumers clear, concise, and unbiased information on how technology is transforming not only cars, but transportation as a whole. As part of this effort, I recently formed the Connected Car Council that consists of some of the top thought leaders you'll hear today. And I'm also launching a C3 report to help interested parties keep up with the latest in this really quickly changing connected car space, and we'll be providing exclusive and insightful content on the C3 report. Now, the connected car is a very complex ecosystem that encompasses everything from vehicle-to-vehicle communication to cloud-based infotainment and services, from advanced driver assist systems that are leading to self-driving cars to one of these days, fully self-driving cars. And I would encourage you, one of our company sponsors, Citizen, has a display outside that really helps encapsulate what this complex ecosystem is, because it touches so many different areas. Now, I feel like to reach the full potential of the connected car will require reaching across traditional silos, particularly for the auto industry. And it will require working closely with their technology partners, as well as policymakers, and most importantly, listening very closely to their customers. That's one of the reasons I enjoy producing the C3 events, is the chance to bridge those gaps and drive the conversation on car technology. And as I said before, I've been covering this space for a long time as a journalist, and I can't think of a more exciting time than now with the connected car, and really the promise of what it can deliver. And I really firmly believe that, like technology's transformed other industries, whether it's music, communication, media, I really feel like the car industry is ripe for that type of change. And also, we're going to see disruptions. We're already starting to see some, but I think out of that will come better vehicles and safer, more enjoyable personal transportation. I think you'll get a glimpse of that today, this exciting feature, and what it will take to get there. I'm excited to bring you this exciting program and the stellar lineup of speakers, and I hope you leave today better informed about some of the latest connected car technologies, but also as excited as I am about what this means in terms of better personal transportation and helping create a better society. A quick reminder about our hashtag, C3CEW, and then also CE Week TV. We're going to have highlights from these sessions online at CE Week TV. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed today's program. I'd like to welcome up Gary Shapiro, President and CEO of the Consumer Electronics Association, to deliver the opening remarks. I think I got his title wrong. Give me this look.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Doug. Thanks for producing it. For those of you who don't know, we are Consumer Electronics Association. It's a national trade association of over 2,000 technology companies. And in this area, it's virtually every major car company, retailer, aftermarket provider in the consumer electronics space. And we've been focusing on what happens in a car for quite a long time, going back to the old CASA, Vehicle Security Electronics days, Mobile Electronics Association days. In fact, that they were merged into the Consumer Electronics Association. A piece of historic trivia. By now, what is one of the most infamous or famous members of Congress, our former chairman of our board, Darrell Issa. So when you see Darrell Issa on Meet the Press or on CNN or Fox, he started in this world, folks. And he's gone down ever since. So here we are. We're actually, what's great about this is we've had conferences in the past, and now we're actually living the future. Before we talked about it, the car actually is transforming before our eyes. People are buying and using features today, as you all know, which we only talked about before. In Washington, there is a lot of focus and discussion about some of the bad things about the connected car and some of the good things. The bad things we're seeing is obviously people are dying because they're using their products that we sell as a consumer electronics industry, and they're distracting from driving. That's a very big, important issue, and at CEA we take it very seriously because we're people, and we feel bad when people are using our products improperly. So we've done what we can to try to educate people about don't text while driving. We have an innovative safety campaign. We certainly had been supportive of laws that barred texting while driving, and we're doing what we can to make sure people focus on this issue as a safety issue. At the same time, we've had an intersection with government. You'll hear shortly from the General Counsel of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and others who have various other solutions which we're not as excited about, which would affect the driving experience and the use of products in the car. But one thing is certain is that we are progressing. This is a temporary problem. We're moving towards a future of the driverless car, the self-driving vehicle. And as Doug said, in a total theft of all my opening remarks, a self-driving car will solve these problems. We will go down to maybe 5% of the car accidents we have today. We will have more efficient vehicles. We may not even have an ownership society with cars. There's a lot of theories going on about there, but what's certain is it'll be very positively disruptive in ways where people's lives by the thousands will be saved across the country and across the world. And there'll be a lot fewer jobs for tow truck operators and collision repair shops and aftermarket parts providers and emergency room physicians and nurses, as well as even drivers. And some of that will be disruptive. In fact, I asked a few months ago, I asked my then 5-year-old son, he wanted to know when he could drive. And I said, by the time you drive, there'll be cars driving themselves. And we talked about it. And he said, but Daddy, how will that affect things? And we talked about the tow truck operators being out of jobs. He said, well, what about the tow truck operators? What's going to happen to them? And I said, what do you think should happen? And he said, I think they should be trained for a year, and then they should get a different job. So there are things that are going to happen to affect a lot of people. But the thing about the Consumer Electronics Association, first of all, we do own and produce the International CES, for the one person in the room that did not know that. And at that show, we have virtually every major car company there. Why? Because people are buying cars now on the basis of technology, not horsepower. And that's just a fact. But the one thing we stand for is innovation. And the reason we believe and stand for innovation, because even though it disrupts existing industries in often ways that are painful to existing businesses and people in their jobs, it always produces something better. And that's what the car industry did, none of us were around then, to the horse and buggy industry. And frankly, that next shift, I think, in automobiles is the one we'll see to the self-driving car. And all this talk about distracted driving and all the pressure and all that is something we will not have. Having said that, you're not here to hear me. I'm the moderator. When I got up here, I was asked to make a statement, and I did. I'd like to have the panelists come up to the stage, please, and seat yourselves down in no particular order. And hopefully there's microphones for each of you. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to introduce yourself and answer a very simple question from me. And as part of that introduction, the question will be, well, first of all, what's your name, what's your title, and what do you do? Those are 3 questions. But the 4th question is, the connected car, good or bad? By the way, we call this a softball in the moderator world. So please start.
Hello. It's on? Okay. My name is Kevin Vincent. I'm the Chief Counsel of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And you want me to answer the question now, Gary?
Sure.
Okay, so connected cars we think are good things, and we'd like to see it done in a safe way.
My name is David Zuby, and I'm the Chief Research Officer and Executive Vice President for the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. And I think the answer to the question is that technology can be both a problem in the car as well as a solution to the problems behind the wheel.
So Brian Radloff with Nuance Communications, and connected car is good.
I'm Gloria Berquist, and I am Vice President of Public Affairs with the Auto Alliance, and that is 12 automakers from Europe, the U.S., and Asia who sell in the United States. And we see the connected car in the broadest sense as part of the golden age of safety, and that it has a lot of safety benefits, but beyond that, it has a lot of benefits for making your time in the car more productive.
I'm George Lynch. I'm the Vice President of Automotive Business Development at Pandora. The connected car is here and here to stay.
Was that a positive thing, or is that just a comment?
That is a positive thing.
So that's positive. So we got all positives with one or two balanced. Okay, well, CEA did some research. It was called the State of In-Vehicle Technology.